So, welcome back to our networking room with our fabulous guest speakers. And our next one up is the lovely Estie Starr, who's coming to us from the Northern Hemisphere, which is very exciting. Estie describes herself, I love this, as business consultant, marketing strategist, speaker, educator, and most importantly, probably mother of five. I love this experience that she's done. She took her companies to over seven figures in profit with zero advertising spend while raising five kids. There's got to be a story in there. Today she's going to be talking to us about how to build a marketing machine. I definitely need one of them. Steve, what do we do? Over to you.
So a marketing machine, like any machine, is something where a known input creates a reliable output. Yes? As a mother of five, running multiple businesses and trying to have a life, I don't have a lot of time to throw spaghetti at the wall and hope something sticks. I started my business back in 2011. I've been doing this for a really long time. I'd been working as the CIO of a multinational nonprofit, loved my boss, loved my job, had flex time, which was so important to me. Then I only have three little kids. Now they're five less little kids. And I just had this crazy dream. I wanted to help small business owners. I wanted to do business consulting for small business owners. In 2011, that's before everyone and their Uber driver was a business coach, guys. Like that's, we're going back almost 15 years now. But I've gone to business school. I've been running businesses profitably since I'm 10 years old. I just, everything I look at turns to money. It's how I see the world. And I knew I could help all these business dreamers that I'd be overhearing in cafes going like, oh my God, you're so talented. You sell like cupcakes for $1. Oh my gosh, you do like crystal healing sessions. That would be amazing. Yeah, $20 would be perfect. And I'm like, oh my, like I could help. I went to business school. Everything I do makes money. Like I can help you. But I didn't know what I was doing. And I started, in the beginning, I was terrified. I was the sole provider of our growing family. My husband at the time was not working, was studying. And I didn't know what I was doing. I left my job. I went into this first taking on a bunch of part-time things and then like building it up slowly over the years. Moved countries while I did it, had my fifth kid while I was doing it. Like really, I added two kids to my family, moved countries, got divorced. Like I lived a lot of life through this process, rebuilt my business four different times. Each big life transition required a new business entity, right? So there was like the first business, and then there was the after we moved business, and then there was after my fifth kid when I had been really sick and out of work for 6 month business, and there was the after divorce business. So like each one's been a new iteration, but each time I'm able to rebuild it because I know how marketing works. A marketing machine is not some kind of like, you should get Instagram influencers. Like it's not a tactic. It's not a fly by night, works today or yesterday and not tomorrow. It is how business and marketing work reliably across time. I've been teaching the same strategies for well over a decade. I've been using them myself for over 15 years to build my business. And now I'm going to show them to you. So I'm going to make it really simple. Okay. When you think of a funnel, like this shape, right? Wider at the top, narrow at the bottom. Your goal in a funnel is not to have it as wide as possible and get as many people in as possible and then hope a couple pop out. That's unhelpful and it's a big waste of the time, energy, and money you have to pop in at the top. Your goal is to have it as narrow as possible, get the right people in, and then as wide as possible at the bottom to get as many out as you can from those that go in. And that's a pipeline. And that's what we call a sales pipeline. And so when we talk about a funnel, I break it into five components. So imagine this funnel with like kind of five strata. I have a bunch of graphic organizers. If you reach out to me, I'm happy to share them with you. I'll give you the worksheet that goes with this teaching. I use what I call the ascension model. It's ascend, ACEND, going down in our funnel. So it is misspelled and it is upside down, which makes it memorable, right? Because we're ascending, going down without the S. ACEND. A is attention. When people go into your funnel, it's because you got their attention somehow. There was a sign in a supermarket. There was a message in their DMs. There was a social media ad. You were on a stage somewhere. You were speaking over here and your name is Estie, right? You got their attention somehow, some way. But just because you got someone's attention doesn't mean they care, right? So underneath the A is the C. They care when your communication lands for them. Many people go out there and do marketing prematurely. and they focus on the attention before they have a communication, a compelling message of sorts that gets anyone to care. And so they go, they get a lot of attention. You can get attention by doing headstands on a street corner too. Not going to get you very far. Maybe some good shoulder muscles, but not a lot of business. Attention is not that hard to come by. Really isn't. There's so many ways to get attention. Inexpensive, more expensive, doesn't matter. But the attention that you get won't go anywhere if there isn't a compelling message to draw people in. That compelling message could be the ad copy, combination with imagery, the words you're saying. Okay, so it could be verbal, it could be written, it could be visual, but there's got to be a compelling message that draws people in. Why are they going to care? You're not M&Ms and you're not Nike and you're not Tesla. Like, you have no name recognition and no brand recognition and no reason that just because someone sees you or something about you, they're ever going to care. So attention, compelling message. AC, E is evaluation. Okay, so another thing people do with their marketing, again, prematurely, is they go out there with a message, which is not necessarily compelling or tested, and then they have no evaluation tool, right? Or one of my favorites, they confuse evaluation and attention, and they build a website, because if you build it, they will come. By the way, that is from a movie called Field of Dreams. You know what the original line is? Build it and he will come. Don't try to get they, get he. And then it goes like this. And so people build a website and they go, I built it. A website doesn't get anyone's attention. It's not 1994. No one's wandering around the interwebs going, oh my God, frog. How fascinating. Nobody cares. Nobody sees you. All right. You got to get attention some other way. Your website at best is an evaluation asset. But you got to get someone's attention first. And then that evaluation asset has to actually have them evaluate something that they might be interested in purchasing. And by the way, no one's buying your $7,000 coaching package off a website after they saw an ad that you put somewhere. Not happening. It's just not. And so when you hire the best top marketing company to build your sales funnel and run ads for you, and they charge you $75,000, and they do the ads and they make a message and it goes to your website, and that's $75,000 flushed down the toilet, because you have not built a marketing machine. You have built what I call spaghetti in a blender. Right? So you could throw spaghetti at the wall, one or two at a time, or you could spend tens of thousands of dollars, put the spaghetti in a blender with the cover off, put it on, see what happens. Yeah, I got clients who do that too. I've been doing this for over 15 years. We have a full service consulting firm and an online business school. I have guided hundreds of clients and thousands of students personally to their marketing success, typically to their first $100,000 years and $1 million in profit. That's my zone. I love the baby business owners. So that is my zone. If you're not yet doing $1 million profit on purpose, I'm your person. And if you're wasting tens of thousands of dollars of marketing, stop, call me. We got this. So you got attention, communication, evaluation. They should flow. If your marketing's not working, it's either incomplete or misaligned. Right? Either something's missing from this little setup or it's not lining up. So you're getting the attention of the right people, communicating a compelling message that makes them care, and bringing them to an evaluation process that makes sense. So if you're selling something very low ticket, $7, $17, you're getting the right attention of the right people, the message is very compelling, and let's say it's a digital sales page or a box or a packaging that is interesting and really speaks to solve their problem, to $17, they might just buy it from you. Yeah, they don't need to talk to you. But $7,000 to $17,000, they're going to need to talk to a human. You're not an iPhone. No one's paying $1,000 for you without talking to somebody first. And even the iPhone, people go into the iStore or call customer service, right? Stand there for half an hour. This one, this one, this one, this one. I didn't just do that this week. That's not why I have that example. Maybe I did. But you do, okay? So the evaluation process has to make sense according to your name recognition, brand recognition, and the price you're charging. So you've got an evaluation process that then leads to N, which is negotiation. What's the difference between evaluation and negotiation? Evaluation is on the merits of what you're selling. Negotiation is the price. Whenever someone is up to negotiation, for example, hi, Estie, how much do you charge for marketing services? That means they've already evaluated me. They have an idea in their head of what they want to spend, an idea in their head of what they think I'm worth. And if I just give them a price and it doesn't match what they're thinking, I've lost them. And so, quick tip for you, if anyone ever reaches out to you to ask you pricing, and you haven't already spoken to them, Take them back a step to evaluation. Don't just be like, I can't tell you until I sell you stuff. You need to be like, well, there's a range depending on what you need. The prices range from $100 to 100,000. I know it's a big range. It really depends on what you need and what your budget is. Tell me a little bit more about what's going on. Now you have a conversation. You can go back to evaluation and take them to negotiation. A digital sales funnel can often do both. Most websites do neither. Just in addition to running a full service consulting firm for 15 years, for 10 years, we ran a full service marketing agency, built dozens of websites, every single one earned money. It's one of my specialties. I turn marketing into money, turn ideas into money and marketing into money. I work with small bootstrap business owners. If you're not earning money off of what we're doing, first of all, it's not fun for you. Second of all, it's not worth it for you to pay me. Third of all, you'll run out of money to keep paying me, so not fun for me either. So people pay me because they keep earning way more than they pay me. That's my game. You're like, wow, Estie, you're expensive. I'm actually a lot cheaper than everything else you're doing because everything I do earns you way more money than you pay me. And that's how I got to be in business for 15 years, primarily referral based, but also using a plethora of organic strategies, which is what I teach in all of our programs and I'll tell my clients. So you've got ACEN, ascend, D is decision. It takes an average of 5 to 7 touch points or 15 to 25 exposures for someone to go from stranger to buyer. So if someone's never heard of you, it will take them 5 to 7 touch points. A touch point is a more direct connection. A phone call, an in-person meeting, an email conversation, a texting conversation, right? These are touch points. There's actual touch connection between you. Whereas an exposure is they see an ad or they see a message or they see an email that's not direct, right? So the difference between, let's say, a marketing email or a newsletter or a direct communication. 5 to 7 touch points, 15 to 25 exposures. Do you know that 80% of salespeople never make more than 5 connections? That means that if 80% of sales are made between 5 and 7 touch points, then 20% of salespeople are making 80% of the sales. That's your standard 80-20 rule. And that is how it works. If you are having less than 5 to 7 connections and less to 15 to 25 touch points, don't wonder why no one's buying. Right? So you can't just pop them into a funnel once, get their attention, communicate interestingly, send them to an evaluation, negotiate price. Oops, they didn't buy. All right, next. That's such a waste. That's an extremely wide funnel with like an almost closed bottom. I can't. My flexibility is not there. Got to work on my Pilates. Don't do that. Right? You want to have a process. Your marketing machine is the process through which you can reliably put in leads to generate paying clients and customers. So this is the process. What does it look like? I have built hundreds of these over the last 15 years. I've never made the same one twice. They all follow the same process, but every person is different. There are no cookie cutter solutions. And what's out there in marketing for small businesses, I like to call it the MEGS. Right? So it's an acronym. I like acronyms. It stands for morons, experts of industry, genius tacticians, and strategists. And it is a pyramid in that the bottom part, the fat part, is where the morons are, right? You have more morons than anything else. And they're not necessarily malicious. They're genuinely clueless. Yeah, they saw TikTok once somewhere with some girl dancing going, you can be social media manager earn 10K a month. Just go on Upwork, charge $1,000 client, get 10 clients, it's 10K. Woo! And they're like, okay. And then you hire that person from Upwork, like, must be a professional. They're on Upwork. They don't know anything. You don't know anything. The blind lead the blind to dark alleys get robbed. That's nobody's fault. You hired a moron because you were. I'm sorry. This is why I do so much marketing education. And there are a lot of morons. They're not bad. If you know what you're doing, you can even hire one. They're often cheaper than the smart people, right? But a lot of people hire morons and they're like, well, my marketing doesn't work. Well, you hired a moron and so are you. Sorry. So that's morons. Then you have experts of industry. These are former chiropractors, coaches, consultants, construction workers who crack the marketing code and will show you how. And they've got these fabulous testimonials on their website because people just like them have managed to step into their footsteps and do the same exact thing. That's right. If you are just like them, similar age, assets, ability, personality, audience, you can copy what they did and also do it, especially if it's, still the same time frame in the world and the same kind of strategies are working. They don't understand marketing or business. They figured out a thing. It worked. Wash, rinse, repeat. And if you can do the same thing they did the same way they did it to the same people, it'll work for you too. If not, you go there, doesn't work for you. And they're like, well, it worked for those people. Must be you. It's not you. Okay. So that's what experts of industry typically do. Then you have genius tacticians. And again, they're not malicious. They don't know what they don't know. They figured out a thing. They're teaching you the thing they figured out. Doesn't work for you. It's your fault. And it's not, by the way. Genius tacticians are my favorite. They're my best partners. They know a tactic. They will teach you Instagram DMs, Facebook groups, direct sales, selling from stage, podcasting, right? Teach you a thing. Now, marketing is a whole puzzle. When I got divorced, one of my kids is like, "So what do we need to do to get you and dad back together?" I'm like, "It's not one thing." I'm like, "Sweetie, imagine like a 5,000 piece puzzle. The things you're mentioning is like three of the pieces." Because so imagine marketing is a 500 piece puzzle. It doesn't have to be that complex. It can even be a 50-piece puzzle. But one piece isn't going to do it. And so each of these tactics is like making a right turn. If you're trying to go to the beach, I love beach. Love the beach. I was just there for the weekend in Mexico. You're trying to go to the beach. If you're really close, you're a couple streets away, and all you need to do is make a right turn, and you're there, and you go to one of these tactic experts and you learn that right turn, and you're at the beach. And again, they've got these great testimonial stories. Well, this company came in, this one, yeah, because they had all their ducks in a row. They had 49 or 499 or 4,999 of their pieces in. That was their last piece. They made their right turn perfect. You are 3 miles away. You learn how to make a right turn. You're like, why am I going in circles? I don't understand. I made the right turn, worked for the other guy. All you learned how to make was a right turn. That's not directions. That's not a strategy. That's tactic. So genius tacticians are great when you know what tactic you need and you have all your ducks in a row. Okay? So morons, industry experts, genius tacticians, strategists. I'm a strategist. I'm not the only one on the planet. I'm the only one that I know of that likes to hang out with small businesses, I will tell you, with what we call the babies. I have a lot of colleagues who are super smart in business, just like I am, and in marketing, and they only work with $1 million plus businesses, and they only work with $25,000 starting contracts. That's it. And so it's not that you can't. I have found what typically happens in the small business world is that when someone's incompetent and they first come in, they start with the small businesses, they gain competency, and then they go for the more expensive people. And so you get all the people, you're the training ground as a small business owner for those who then have a budget. I'm the weirdo who's decided to stay here for 15 years because I love it. It feels like my life's mission. I I can't tell you the joy and satisfaction I get from getting someone to their 10K profit months, from getting them to their first 100K, from getting them to their first million, from getting them to buying that house, to taking that trip, to putting away savings, to starting to work only 20 hours a week because they have enough money and a system that works. That's my greatest joy. So I like to hang out here. But if you don't have a strategy, it doesn't work to hire the others. So you've got ascension model, you've got to get through all 5 of those steps and they've got to make sense. And beware of the Megs. Know who you're hiring, know where you're at in your business. I don't have a problem with you hiring any of them, but just know what you're doing. If you don't have a strategy, you need one. And then if a genius tactician is the right fit for you, great. If you match perfectly an expert in an industry and can stand in their footsteps, great. And if you know exactly what you're doing, you can boss around a moron and make them do it right, go for it.
Hmm. But also, I guess, Estie, just to help us wrap up a little bit, if you have a strategy and you said, these are the genius tacticians are your best partners. If you have given someone a strategy and as in part of that discussion, you've gone, yep, we're definitely going to go down what's one that I would never do, TikTok route, then the ideal genius tactician would be someone who has absolutely cooked TikTok. See, TikTok. They know. I like Tic Tacs much better than Tic. Do you have Tic Tacs in America? Yeah. So I'd much rather have Tic Tacs than TikToks. But anyway, you would go and find a TikTok specialist. I know you're never going to be able to hear TikTok again, are
It
you,
might be
without
more
seeing a
fun.
TikTok. So we have got a Share in the room. Share, you couldn't find your way in and you're here now, which is awesome. Estie, are you around for a little while? Can you pop into your booth and maybe just have a little chat with Share? Because she missed the start of your, the start of your piece, which was so useful around the funnel that we all see is the wrong shape and maybe even the start of the ascend model. Are you able to just hang out for a little bit and
I
maybe?
don't know how to pop into my booth. I can
Okay.
talk with her here, or if you tell me how to go to my booth, I can go there
Yep.
from
So
here. I can definitely
Sigrid's
have for the next 10
online,
minutes or
the
so.
guru of all good things. So Sigrid, can you help
Yeah.
Share and Estie find each other in the realm of the expo?
I
Thank
sure
you, Estie. That
can.
was fabulous. Hang on, I'm just going to. Oh, sorry. I'm just going to turn the recording
Stop
off.
the recording.